Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Just Another Talk. And on this episode, we're going to talk about the man who got his ass beat by the NYPD detectives. Now, I reacted to this video, and when I reacted to the video, I made some conclusions that I obviously at the time I didn't know. But apparently there's been some developments, and this guy was innocent. So let's go ahead and watch the news report about this.
They filed a $100 million lawsuit against the city, the
Ooh.
NYPD, and all of the officers involved. Timothy Brown today saying that he will never be the same. Go
Of
ahead, take
course
a look
not.
at this here. This is Mr. Brown entering the news conference earlier today. Now, he was using a cane to walk. You can see that he is hobbling.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh because it's not funny, but like, bro, if I was him, I'd be milking it. I'd have walked in there with an eye patch. I'd have walked in there in a wheelchair with all my limbs, wrapped up. Bro, you deserve every dollar. Every dollar. As a matter of fact, listen, I got an idea. If you want to invest, let me know. Holla at me. We can make some money together. But
And
regardless.
his arm is in a sling. His face is battered and bruised, and he
Hell
has a
yeah, he
black
got his
eye.
ass
His
beat.
lawyers say he needed about 36 stitches in his leg that had been sliced open after the two detectives dragged
Yeah,
him
that was
through
pretty
broken
bad.
glass on the floor of that liquor store. You know, that beating happened 2 weeks ago today in a liquor store
Oof.
in Cobble Hill, Brooklyn. Mr. Brown, who is a home health aide as well as a licensed security guard, had stopped in the store about 4 o'clock in the afternoon to buy some wine after work. He says without any warning, the two detectives approached him, told him that he was under arrest, and they started punching and kicking him. Now, the detectives who work with Brooklyn North Narcotics, they had thought Mr. Brown was a drug associate of another suspect they had arrested earlier
Drug
in the day. However,
associate.
this was a case of
Oh,
mistaken identity.
that
I
he's
had
about
no
to get
knowledge
paid.
of who they were. I was in shock. I didn't understand what was going on.
He looked kind of good for getting his ass beat. I'm not gonna lie. Like I thought it was gonna be a lot worse.
They said, "You're under arrest." And I said, "Why? I haven't done anything." And before I knew it, they grabbed me and started punching me.
We, through this litigation, hope to change the policies of the NYPD. We hope that there will be training such that these incidents will stop happening.
I don't know if they'll stop happening, but maybe training will help. I don't know. I listen when I saw the video. Okay, I have a rule about my channel. Okay, I try not to jump to conclusions, but I also try to approach things with common sense. Okay, and the way the video started, it was just already in the middle. Okay, and it was they were trying to arrest him. I was saying, hey, you shouldn't resist. Just let him arrest you. And obviously, I was wrong. So I admit I was wrong. Um, but no, but because but nullifies everything that came before the but. So I just want to add that I do understand that sometimes things happen and there's confusion, especially in a moment like that when you're dealing with someone you don't know and you're immediately assuming that they are a criminal or an assailant or whatever the case that the cops were assuming. But I think that there is a space where, okay, the guy's telling you he's not the guy you're looking for. That doesn't mean you need to arrest him in order to restrain him and figure out if he really is the guy that you think he is. I think that's the point in time where you can use a bit of common sense. And in the video, you do hear him say, like, man, I'm a security guard, I'm a nurse. Like, why are you doing this to me? So and I also understand Timothy's panic. Like I get it. I don't think he did anything wrong, especially after knowing that he wasn't the guy they were looking for. I think any normal person would react like, oh, get your hands off me. Hold on, I'm not the guy you're looking for. I think the onus is on the police to be able to be like, all right, well, we might have the wrong person. Timothy, hang tight right here. Let's figure this out. Can I have your license or whatever investigation they need to do in order to say or prove that he's not the person they're looking for. Like I'm all for that, but they went to beating him like a drum right away. Like that video was crazy. Let's see. I've noticed since the introduction of ICE, police have become more violent, maybe thinking that their leader Trump may pardon them. It also shows the amount of violence exposed to our young, which in turn brings more violence. No, I don't agree with that. That's There are always gonna be aggressive cops. There's always gonna be videos like this. There always have been. I think really they've been escalating since like 2012, really. And really it kind of peaked during 2020. 95% of cops are all corrupt POS scum. I don't agree with that either. Anyone can be a POS cop. All you need is a high school diploma. Detectives are worse. They all think they are above the law. Cracks me up when I hear pigs getting wasted. Suddenly they were family men, good members of the community. That's just hatred. You don't even have a picture. You're hiding behind a X account. Good job, buddy. Let's see. No qualified immunity, no special protections, no detective endowment association lawyers, no paid vacations, no blue line fundraisers, no backroom retirements, just arrest, trial, and jail. Law and order. Yeah, I'm not opposed to them not having immunity, to them going through. I want to see what their thought process was. Why did you conduct yourself in this manner? Is it just because you thought it was him? Shouldn't there be a process that you follow as far as, okay, this is the guy we think it is. He looks like the guy. Now let's confirm he's the guy before we try to arrest him. You know, I see a lot of police videos. I watch a lot of body cam videos, so I see how things turn very quickly into something that most regular people who are just out about in life wouldn't expect. So I have I guess I give them a little bit of leeway, but in this case, especially knowing that Timothy was not the guy, like they beat him like a drum. Like, I'm gonna say this a bunch of times because it's what happened, and it's unfortunate. I shouldn't be laughing because it's a sad situation. They could have killed him, you know, and they obviously traumatized the people that were in the store as well as the people outside the store. But yeah, it's what happened. Sue their asses for every damn dime. I'd have to see them, you know, later. Okay. This is crazy. I hope he heals up well. Take all of the police retirement money, 401k, their properties, money for payment. Damn, you're just trying to strip them of life. So I got this article from CBS News. Let's see if it has any other information that we didn't get. Lawsuit alleges pattern of misconduct. The attorney says Brown suffered a permanent injury, his leg, and has to use a cane. I'm not walking straight. I still have headaches, Brown said. Of course, hell yeah, you still have headaches. It happened, I think it happened like the second week of April. The 100 million isn't just to cover those losses, it includes punitive damages too. The newly filed notice of claim targets not just the detectives but also supervisors. It argues Brown's arrest was part of a broader pattern of alleged misconduct. Let's see. The filing points to another case CBS News New York reported on. Exclusive video was obtained, shows another man, Ronald Maxwell, being taken into custody that day. He said he was not charged. We want to take everything from those police officers just like they took the dignity away from Mr. Brown, attorney Derek Sell said. The attorney said they want to severely punish the NYPD so this doesn't happen again. Yeah, listen, I'm not mad at the thought process. Is it a bit much? Maybe. But so was the ass whooping, you know, I guess. Let's see. CBS News New York pulled the Civil Complaint Review Board history for each. Detective Vulcan Madden had 12 complaints dating to 2016. Of those, 5 were substantiated, including abuse of authority. The other detective, Michael Algerio, had 8 complaints dating to 2013. 1 complaint was substantiated. That complaint was also for abuse of authority. CBS News New York shared the CCRB complaints with Darren Porcher, a former NYPD lieutenant. It's conduct that should be spotlighted, he said, meaning 3 should have been some level of supervisory component that should have at least reviewed and made an assessment as to should we keep those officers in the same capacity they're in or should we transfer them to a non-enforcement capacity. The NYPD declined to comment on pending litigation, but the agency said the 2 detectives involved along with the sergeant have been placed on desk duty and stripped of guns. Oh yeah, they're gonna be placed on desk duty and stripped of guns. That's normal. Do I think anything's gonna happen to the officers? Probably, just because he was not the guy. I think if he would have been the guy, probably nothing would have came to them. He shouldn't beat the dude like that. Like, come on, man, just give him a break. You know, he's telling you he's not him. You know, grab him, whatever may be the case. But you gotta have a little bit more discernment as a police officer. So it is what it is. But once we have some more updates on this story, I'll definitely bring you guys another update on it. But for now, guys, again, I appreciate all the love and support I'm getting. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and until next time.